Wake up.
Wake up, wake up.
In Provincetown. This week featuring
Wake up, wake up.
Can I have some coffee?
Wake up, wake up.
Make it strong, please. Hey. Ho. Hey.
Wake up, wake up.
Ho. No, really, can I have some coffee?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everybody. It's Friday, February 25th, and you just woke up in Provincetown.
Yay.
I've had a lot of coffee, but also I'm feeling very tense today
Why?
because of World War III. What do you mean, why?
Yeah.
There's a lot going on. I was just about to say it was so easy to be on vacation for 3 weeks and not be thinking about what was going on in the rest of the world, but you can never really stop.
Right.
So there we were in Hawaii last week, and this is going to be an unpopular opinion, but we were talking about Russia potentially invading Ukraine, and I was talking to some born and raised Hawaiian locals who were like, why do you care? The Ukraine is Russia's Hawaii. You guys did it to us. And I was like, oof, I never thought about it like that. Is that what's going on? I don't really know what's happening over there, except bombing and
Right.
civilians dying and Russia lying for months leading up to this, being like, we're not doing that. We're not planning that. These troops there don't mean that.
Right. And Biden's kind of been saying from the beginning and being very forthcoming with the intelligence, saying no, this is exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
And it happened.
And they were like, you guys are stirring shit. You Americans are making it sound like we're about to do something that we're not going to do. So when we do something that sounds like what you're saying we're going to do, you're going to say that that's what we're doing. And I was like, it makes my head hurt.
Yeah. But our hearts go out to the Ukrainian people, the country of Ukraine. I don't know the solution, but I hope for one soon.
There's going to be a lot of hard decisions at a much higher pay scale than where we currently sit. Good luck to the leaders of NATO, everybody out there.
How was your morning?
Well, I thought it was only going to rain a little.
It did more.
When I went to sleep last night, Peter was like, don't worry, it's just going to rain a little. I was like, well, I'll move the windshield wipers off the thing anyway.
Smart.
Right?
Yeah.
I know.
I got out of bed at 7:15 this morning, started my car. I was like, I'm gonna let it cook for half an hour.
I still don't have that technology.
It's definitely something that I was like, I'll never need that. And now that I have it, I'm like, this is amazing.
Especially here.
Yeah.
Right.
Being able to start your car from your kitchen window in your underwear. Yeah.
You guys, we have a great show for you today. We have some really fantastic guests. One of my favorite people is here today who, I don't know if you remember this. I'm sure you do. Of course you do. I don't know if she remembers this, but when we were first conceptualizing the show, we were like, let's get some regular contributors. Who would be fun to have on to do a food review segment every once in a while? And we were like, Sean and Rebecca from Papa Lunch. We'll just buy them lunch. We'll send them out and eat somewhere once a month, and they can just be like, this is great. This is what you get when you come to this place.
Yeah.
And we finally get to have her on the show.
Yeah, very exciting.
The offer still stands to do the food judging segment.
She's like, we'll see how this goes today. We also have Andy Sell, the reigning Mr. Snowbound. He got 2 years under the title because obviously they didn't have the event last year. But he's in town this weekend to hand over the sash. Or is it a cock ring or?
Harness?
It's a sash. Perfect.
I don't know if you can say cock ring. YouTube was not happy with us last week.
Yeah, I got an alert for last week's episode saying that we couldn't monetize the episode because there was language or topics discussed that wouldn't be suitable for advertisers.
Hashtag don't say gay.
YouTube is homophobic.
Wow. Well, we knew that.
I didn't say that.
Right. Just Instagram.
But we are literally snowbound right now. It's great that Snowbound is happening this weekend. Mother Nature cooperated with the theme weekend.
Yeah, if you are in Provincetown or kind of anywhere where there's snow, the roads here are not super great yet. I saw plows and salt and sand trucks out, but it didn't seem like the roads were there yet, quite ready. And we are in a snow emergency.
And, you drove here. Where did you park?
The parking lot over there.
Not this big one?
No.
Oh, I parked in the big one because that's where I always park, but it's not plowed. And the Cape Cod 5 The bank next door, their parking lot is plowed, but if you park there, you get a note on your car, even if you're in here doing a show for an hour. So don't park at the bank unless you're going into the bank, is what I'm saying.
Great. I think they have signs up saying that everywhere as well.
I think they put those signs up after I parked there for a few Fridays in a row.
Cute.
I love Siemens Bank anyway. So.
Wow. Whichever bank's going to give me a mortgage, I like the best.
That's why I said that.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Just kidding. I've always loved Siemens Bank. Mm-hmm. So how was your week? What'd you do?
My week was cute. Friday night after the show, I went to the RuPaul's Drag Race viewing, which typically takes place here at the brewery. It'll be here tonight at 8 o'clock, hosted by Mackenzie and Austin. But last week, since the brewery was closed, they moved it over to the Crown and Anchor, and it was cute. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, very lively. Austin and Mackenzie were killer, tons of fun. It's a really good space for that. Yeah.
And then the rest of your weekend?
Then Saturday night, there was, I think someone was sick and couldn't go to perform at Tin Pan Alley, so Jouot sang for Saturday night, 8 to 11, and I got up and sang a few songs as well.
Oh, was
Again.
Mike playing?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Mike was on the piano and Christian was on the drums. It was really cute.
Is that happening again this weekend?
I think Jouot's going to be at Tin Pan this Wednesday evening, 6 to 9.
If you are in town this weekend, there's a lot to do. Obviously, there are all of the Snowbound events.
Yep.
Here at the PBC, they have a Hops and Bottoms party on Sunday afternoon.
Yes. A lot of events also taking place at the Crown and Anchor. The Crown and Anchor restaurant's going to be open for dinner tonight and tomorrow. They're going to be open for lunch tomorrow and also brunch 10 to 3 on Sunday. The Wave Bar is going to be open tonight with music by our very own Andrew Haig.
Tonight? Oh,
Yeah.
great.
And there's also the Snowbound Whiteout dance party with DJ Chris Racine in the Paramount. Let's see what else we got. John Richardson's tomorrow night at the Dive Bar. The Vault's going to be open tomorrow night. And also 3 to 7 is the Snowbound Chaps and Straps party.
When's the competition? When do they crown Mr. We'll ask Andy when he's on camera.
Yeah, perfect. And then, Oh, also at the Crown next Tuesday is Fat Tuesday, so they're doing a little Fat Tuesday party hosted by Austin and Mackenzie. Yeah.
Excellent.
A lot of hurricane punches. Is that what people drink for Mardi Gras?
I've never been to Mardi Gras.
Or you wouldn't remember anyway. It's Mardi Gras. I'm not saying you wouldn't remember. One wouldn't remember anyway.
It's going to be that kind of show this week.
It's always that kind of show.
What are you doing this weekend? You got a hot date tonight?
No.
I seen you pumping iron at the gym.
Okay.
Harry's whipping himself back in. Well,
I've been going to the
is
gym
whipping
for
him
quite
into
some time,
shape.
and Bob finally saw me, and he acted like I just started.
No,
Seems like you just started, Bob.
I'm saying you haven't just started. You've been
Get away
doing
from me,
really
don't
well.
bump me.
No, it's nice to see. I hope those endorphins are, making you happy.
Me fucking too.
No hot date this weekend?
No, I'm kind of gonna see where the wind blows me this weekend. There's so much going on between the Crown.
Wind. That's what's going to blow him this weekend.
What's his name?
Okay. Is that what YouTube was complaining about?
Probably. Probably something along those lines.
Don't forget that on Sunday night you have to watch the SAG Awards.
Oh, yeah.
The Screen Actors Guild Awards are on Sunday night, and our friend Murray is up for Best Actor in a limited series. I really, really want him to win. He's up against, among other people, Ewan McGregor for Halston.
Oh.
It's a tough category. It's 3 other amazing actors as well, but Murray is the best. I am biased,
Right.
but he's just my favorite.
Yeah. Did any of the other people from White Lotus get nominated?
I think Jennifer Coolidge.
Do you think she'll win?
I think they both have a really great shot.
That's killer.
Yeah.
I have a feeling I'm caught up with Euphoria. For the longest time I wasn't going to watch it because the first season there's a lot of moments that are like mildly, like I first had this idea when I was watching The Handmaid's Tale, which is like, why do I watch this? It's just like over and over again.
Torture porn.
Yeah, watching this person be tortured, and it's the same thing with Ozark as well. I like put on the most recent season, and then I remembered what happened at the very end of last season. It was just like someone got shot in the head. And I'm like, why am I watching this just like waiting to witness that again? Kind of not into that, which was kind of what put me off watching the second season of Euphoria for a while, but I did get caught up. And there was only one moment where I had to I would watch 30 seconds and then stop it and then like scroll through Instagram for a minute and then play another 30 seconds and then stop.
Really?
It was traumatic.
Is it super graphic?
It's just a situation that is not great. Not graphic, but like tense in a way that I don't care for.
Upsetting. Disturbing.
Yeah.
That's what we want in our television.
But I do think some of the women from Euphoria are gonna get nominated.
Oh,
next
for sure.
year. Yeah.
I mean, Zendaya won an Emmy last year, right?
Yeah, I kind of wasn't thinking it was gonna be her year for Euphoria, but then she had this kind of like standalone episode that was very much centered around her, and I was like, oh, she might. Right. But I think a lot of people are saying that they think the girl who plays Cassie might get nominated, who is the
daughter from White Lotus?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
And then a lot of people critiqued that thought, saying like every time a white girl cries, you think they should get an award. and I was like, she cries so good though.
I'm not caught up on Euphoria yet.
There's a scene where she's just looking in the bathroom mirror, like crying, but like faking a smile and like trying to look pretty for the camera. And I was like,
That's the Emmy reel.
That's like me all winter in P-Town.
Give him an Emmy,
just my
you guys.
vibe.
Will somebody please give Harrison an Emmy?
Please. Are you watching anything fun?
I'm still trying
Besides
to catch
the
up
Screen Actors Guild
on
Award?
everything. I'm like 2 episodes from being caught up with Ozark, which I grant you is very violent and upsetting. But it's also Laura Linney, who I've loved my whole life.
I think the tenseness around Ozarks comes from the fact that it's like all drug cartel related, and it's like there's just no rules,
Right.
and you just never know what's going to happen next, and you know it's not going to be fair.
Well, especially after what happened at the end of last year.
Right.
Anybody could get a bullet in the head at this point.
And I feel like it is the final season.
Yes.
They're releasing it in 2 parts. I think they just announced that the second part was going to be released sometime in April, and I imagine one of the main characters has got to go.
Probably. Or all of them.
Right.
I did finish that 4-hour Janet Jackson documentary.
Jeannie Jimplin?
Jeannie Jimplin.
Oh wait, no, that's Janis Joplin.
Yeah, that's Janis Joplin. And while I didn't learn much new in watching the documentary about her, it was fun to see like her in the studio recording Rhythm Nation.
No way.
Like, being, like with the headset on and Jimmy and Terry are in there being like, do it again, do it again, do it again. That was fun. I had never seen that before. But also, she and Michael only ever did one song together.
Scream.
Right.
The most expensive music video ever made.
Ever.
Only because it was all like this futuristic video where they were playing like High-Lie and smashing vases. And rather than just like going to Pier 1 and getting a bunch of vases, they bought like $80,000 vases to smash for this video. It's like they literally just wanted it to cost money.
Yeah. Michael. Janet didn't do that.
Sure.
But she was saying in the documentary, she was like, on the shoot of that video, I thought we were going to be like having fun together. His record company wouldn't let me watch his solo takes. So she was like, the record company set it up as this like competitive environment with my own brother, and I didn't have fun at all.
Aww.
And I'm like, that was really sad for me to
Yeah.
hear. Like the one thing that they ever did together.
Oh, like wasn't a fun, joyous experience. Yeah.
So I did learn that too.
It is a good music video if you've never seen it.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a good song.
Shot in glorious black and white.
It was in black and white. Yeah.
For $7 million.
You didn't learn anything new from it?
No, I mean, like, if you've been a big enough fan, like I have all this time, you're like, oh, I knew that. Oh, I never saw that before.
But didn't it have like new interviews with her? Oh, and still nothing new?
Just saying stuff that I already knew for 4 hours.
You're just a super fan.
I just love her, and I was like, I'll watch it, even though I know I'm not going to learn anything.
There is a guy on Instagram that I follow that I send you his stories often because he posts a lot about Janet Jackson. And his other favorite artist is Tinashe, who I've been telling you forever to listen to because if you like Janet, you'll totally like Tinashe.
She's the next Janet.
Yeah.
Good.
But I mean, when you look at artists like Madonna or Janet, and then you look around at like the younger artists that are happening now, it's like all of them are trying, or you can clearly see that all of them have learned everything from those 2 artists.
Absolutely, right?
Yeah.
Before we get too far into this, I do want to show you a really brief 30-second video of what the weather is like right now in Provincetown. This was me after I parked my car walking across the street to get in here. Check this out.
This is your Bradford Street weather report for Friday, February 25th. The tides might be right for clamming. I don't think I do today. It's 31. It's not going to be about 3 for the rest of the week. Good morning.
I don't know.
So it is, I think it's done snowing, right? It's
yeah.
done for now.
So wintry mix.
The plows are out. By the time you're going to your first Snowbound event tonight, the roads should be pretty clear.
Yeah. Trying to make a plowed joke, but We'll get you later.
Go for it.
I did just get a notification that President Biden is nominating Ketanji Brown Jackson, an experienced judge and former public defender, to the Supreme Court.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's
That's
exciting
a little
news.
bit of good news.
I look forward to learning everything about that person.
Do we have any local news to tell everybody?
One thing, this coming Wednesday, there is a community meeting about the 3 Jerome Smith property. Actually, there's kind of a big week for that project in general. On Monday night, the developers will show their plans to the select board, and they're going to discuss how they can adjust their plans to better suit community needs. Then Tuesday night, they're meeting with the abutters of the property, and then Wednesday there's a community meeting. And I do think that if you have a strong opinion about what direction this is going to go in, you should tune in on Wednesday, and even maybe Monday night to the select board meeting to kind of see what the select board's opinions, and hopefully they'll align with yours. They did post about it on Community Space a few weeks ago, just the announcement of the meeting, and a lot of people shared their opinions in the comments.
What are people saying?
Most of the comments were suggesting that it should be senior housing.
Senior.
Yeah. What do you think?
Obviously, we need housing for seniors.
Right.
We also need a lot of workforce housing, and we also need a lot of affordable. Housing is just the biggest problem here.
Well, a lot of people were complaining about the fact that it was workforce housing, and I think there is kind of this like cognitive dissonance with people in town where they don't. People think workforce and they think people who are here for 3 or 4 months in the summer, and I understand that that is a decent amount of our workforce, but that is not. I don't even think the majority of our workforce. It's the same people being like, we just need dorms for the workforce. It's like, there are people that would be happy living in dorms because they're here for 3 or 4 months, but there's also people who live here year round, work here year round, who need more suitable housing than that.
Yeah. I mean, all of the year-round workers, like you're lucky that you have a place that seems pretty steady right now, and I think I've said this on this show before, like every place that I ever lived in, every rental that I ever had to live in and work for the summer is no longer a worker apartment.
Right.
Like all of those are gone from the last 17 years that I've been here. And I'm like, they're just going one by one off the market. And this year more than ever, we have more friends who have been living and working here already pleading for help, finding an apartment. I mean, there's nowhere for the people who already have been working here to live.
Yeah. As much as people leave at the end of a summer and don't come back, there's just as many people who are forced to leave at the end of a winter when they had full intentions of staying through the summer to work again that have to leave May 1st because they simply can't find an affordable place. And I feel like everyone knows this, but the problem is that everyone can see how lucrative weekly and short-term rentals can be, and they're like, sure, you can live in my place for the whole summer, but that's the price you're gonna pay. A friend of mine just sent me a text conversation he had with someone, and they're offering it's like $13,000 a month or $40,000 for 4 months.
For 2 bedrooms?
I don't even know. Who cares?
It is
It's 100 bedrooms. 100
4
bedrooms.
100 bedrooms.
It sleeps 4, but it's a 2-bedroom.
Oh, it sleeps 4.
Right.
It's dire.
But that's still $2,500 a month per person to share a bedroom with someone, which if you're 2 couples, I'm sure, but that's not going to be 2 couples that are working in town. 2 couples might rent that for the whole summer, but I guarantee there'll be people from Boston and New York who are going to come on weekends to hang out.
And I don't want to make it sound like this is the only place on earth or in the country where this is happening. I was reading in the newspaper the other day about, correct me if I'm saying the name of this city wrong, Spokane, Washington? That's how you say that, right? Spokane? Where this woman who's lived there her whole life, she's like, my house was $200,000. Now that same house a few years later is like $600,000 because everybody's moving there from bigger, more expensive. It's like, going to the smaller cities, making things unaffordable for the people that are already there.
Well, it's a symptom of the pandemic. So many people were allowed to work from home.
Right.
And I understand if you're working from home, why live in a city paying astronomical rents and smelling garbage all the time?
Right.
You know what I mean? So I understand the desire to move a place like this, and it's not that these people did anything wrong, but it is creating a problem that eventually is going to be their problem as well. When there's literally 0 restaurants open on Tuesday and Wednesday, which that's gonna happen.
Right.
Yeah. So many restaurants last year were closed for 1 or 2 days of the week, and it was simply because of staffing issues, and that's just going to get worse.
Right.
and then your weekly rental won't be worth $40,000 for 4 months because there won't be anything to do. No shows to see, no restaurants to go to, nothing.
I forget what I was going to say.
Great.
So say something.
So that 3 Jerome Smith is going to be 57 units. They're mostly going to be offered as affordable units, which means people making less than 80% of the median income. I think the median income for a single person is like 57,000, and for a couple it's 70. And then a smaller number of units currently is going to be community housing, which is where workforce housing would fall under, and that's for people making 80 to 120% of the median household income.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like it makes sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're going to, Alex Morse, town manager Alex Morse is going to be here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about the new police station project.
I mean, you're going to have to ask him about affordable housing too.
Yeah.
I won't be here.
Well, it's so many people in town feel like it's a this or like an either or situation. Like a lot of people are like, why are we worrying about a police station when we don't have housing? And a lot of people feel the opposite, and I think that they don't necessarily need to be one or the other, and I think that's what we're going to discuss.
We need them all.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we've needed a new police station for as long as I can remember. You too, right?
I've been lucky enough to never have been in our police station, but I hear it is not up to standard.
You don't go in there to buy your parking sticker?
No.
Where do you get your parking sticker?
I don't have a parking sticker.
You don't have a parking sticker? Do you vote here?
Yes, I don't drive in the summer, so I don't need a parking sticker.
Oh, that's what you meant by that.
I basically only drive November through April, where you don't need a parking sticker to park anywhere.
Oh, okay.
I should get a parking.
I
should get a parking sticker anyway, because then I'll like have to drive here because it's raining or something, and I'll park and get a ticket.
Do you have health insurance?
Yeah.
You do? Okay.
Yeah. Why?
Because for some reason I thought you didn't.
Why?
Because you told me that you didn't.
I don't seem like a healthy person. Insured and all.
I'm like turning into your mom all of a sudden. I'm like, get a parking sticker. Get health insurance. Hi, Doreen.
This is just turned. We're canceling Wake Up. It's just life coaching with Bob.
Nice pecs.
Ow! Stop poking me. Let's talk a little about. There are plenty of states in the United States right now with anti-LGBTQ plus legislation going through the process. But there's 2 states in particular that made headlines this past week, and I think as of this morning, the Parental Rights and Education Act, which I think is the Don't Say Gay bill, which people are now calling it, passed this morning through the Florida State Senate. So I think it is officially a law now.
Really?
Yeah. So at the surface, I know. At the surface, they say that it prohibits discussion about sexual orientation in kindergarten through 3rd grade. But I feel like that's the people that are for it kind of trying to minimize what the actual effect of it will be. And there was a lawmaker in Florida who is a queer woman who said that her wife is a teacher and has a picture of their family on their desk. Will she, there's these questions like, will she not be able to have that?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the biggest issue. It's about, it's forcing people back into the closet. And also I learned, saying you can't speak about sexual orientation from kindergarten to 3rd grade. I learned what gay was in 2nd grade only because that was an insult hurled at me in 2nd grade. So does that turn into, if the teacher were to hear something like that, does that turn into that being brushed under the rug because it can't be talked about?
When somebody called you that, did you go home and ask your mom what that meant, or your teacher told you, or?
No, I think I figured it out. You know what I mean?
Was there Google and interneting when you were in 2nd grade?
No. I don't think we got a computer in my house till I was in 8th or 9th grade.
Okay.
But it's one of those laws that I feel like is the motivation behind it is to protect people from LGBTQ plus people, but I feel like there's this, people don't understand that the people that need to be protected are the LGBTQ people rather than being protected from them. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean.
Right.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
And it sucks because some of my favorite people live in Florida, and you know a lot of good people in Florida who obviously are not for this. So don't don't jump on the bandwagon of just bashing Florida because did you go to Stop and Shop last week?
But
There was no orange juice. You guys be a little nicer to Florida. There's a lot of good people there, and I need my orange juice.
oh my God, I almost feel like this might be a political ploy to push people who support the LGBTQ community out of Florida to move it farther away from being a swing state and closer to being a red state.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? If you have queer children
Totally.
and you have the privilege of being able to leave Florida, aren't you going to do that?
Good luck doing Miami without gay people.
But then that's people, you're pushing people who differ from you away to enshrine your own opinion into politics, which
Right.
is dangerous. And then you move over to the state of Texas, continually fucking everything
Why would you
up.
move over to the state of Texas?
Just in our discussion. But so from what I've read, the state of Texas already has laws that criminalize providing gender-affirming healthcare to trans children. But what happened this week is their governor basically instructed people to start prosecuting parents who are providing their trans children and non-gender conforming children gender confirming medical care. So that's hormones, that's sexual reassignment surgery, or gender confirmation surgery, until they're 18.
But also, correct me if I'm wrong here too. He was like, if you see trans kids, tell us. Like,
Right.
it's like pink triangles. Let's just label them all.
Right.
Texas, man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is a very, very large country,
Mm-hmm.
and there are a lot of really horrible people in it. But there's a lot of really good ones too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know how we run things in a place that's so like disparate.
Yeah. But that's in my opinion, that's like caused by the right, because like progressive communities and liberal communities are often, it's due to the fact that they're diverse, and those bubbles are kind of reconfirmed by the fact that they are welcoming because they're diverse, and they're welcoming to that diversity, where like bubbles that are lean more right and Republican, they reaffirm that bubble by pushing everyone else out. So I feel like it's on that end of the spectrum that is like making these bubbles more and more apparent.
Speaking of diversity, I do think the window has closed for people to apply for the diversity, equity, and inclusion job in Provincetown. So we're going to have a new DEI officer soon.
Cute. I hope a bunch of people applied.
I hope so too.
Yeah. Did you apply?
I did not apply.
Oh, bummer.
I elected to stay where I am and do what I'm doing.
You're like, I'll be the diversity.
I'm just going to keep living my diverse life.
Right. Should we do your Hawaii video?
Yeah, so you guys, I'm sorry this is super self-indulgent, but here's the second of my my honeymoon Hawaii videos. This one is set entirely on the island of Kauai, which I don't know if I said this last week, but I haven't fallen in love with a place this hard since Provincetown. And so I tried really hard to edit this down to a short amount of time. And I also didn't put any music on it because I just wanted you to enjoy the next few minutes of the sounds of the ocean crashing on land, because it is the most peaceful minutes that you're gonna have today. Don't doom scroll, just play this video over and over today. out. Wasn't that beautiful? I hope that that was the most relaxing part of your day, because that's what I was hoping to do for and with everyone.
No, it looked really relaxing. Not to rub it in that you were on a beach all last week and everyone's in the snow today.
Please welcome to the show, Mr. Snowbound himself, Andy Sell. Andy, how are you?
Good. How are you
God.
doing?
I'm great.
Let's make
Oh
sure
my
this
God, you're
is-
losing your sash.
I know. I just want everybody to know that the competition's off. I already won.
God.
Welcome, your new Mr. Snowbound 2022.
What are my duties?
You have to raise funds for the AIDS support group of Cape Cod.
That's noble.
Yeah, that's the whole purpose of the weekend and the competition, actually.
How long have they been doing it?
So, Snowbound started in 2008, and it is put on by the same folks that put on Mates Leather Weekend that happens in the fall. Rick Conley is one of the sweetest guys and most humble, who really helps to organize everything. And it started primarily because we needed to create an event in the winter, in the off season, for the leather community to come enjoy Provincetown. And there was an event called Winter Encampment that used to happen here, and so it's kind of a continuation of that. But what I think is unique about this particular event is the fundraising component, which isn't really part of a lot of leather competitions. Started in 2012, spearheaded by Boggy Fryer, who's a Cape Cod resident.
Is that his real name?
Yes. Well, no, it's not his real name, but he prefers to go by Boggy.
Okay.
Sounds like a real name to me.
He's an incredible guy.
I love that.
He wanted to create an event that gave back to the community, and so he spearheaded the Mr. Snowbound contest, which all of the contestants that run for the title create fundraise for the ASGCC and help provide additional support for their programs.
And the AIDS support group of Cape Cod does so much for the community. They do
Yes.
free testing, which is super important, especially in this community. So, it's a great cause to support.
Yeah, and I think it benefits not only the Cape Cod residents, but also people that visit Provincetown. For this weekend, for instance, all of their services are free, so you can go get an STI or HIV check or test, and you get a free bottle of lube when you get a test. So,
I love that.
I know you need one of those.
Yeah, right.
So, did you win your first time out?
I did. So Snowbound,
He's like hair flip.
Snowbound was my kind of coming out into the leather community, primarily in the Northeast. As in the LGBTQ community, I think we have a lot of closets to come out of. Mine was kind of coming out into my leather fetish, and Snowbound helped me do that. So it was a little bit of a gripping moment to go onto social media and post those photos and acknowledge that I'm a Leatherman, but I think I wouldn't have done it without supporting ASGCC and everything that they stand for.
The photos look great.
Oh, thanks. So I did win, and not to brag, but I did. I'm the highest record holder for individual donations.
No way.
But this year, we have 9 contestants, and I know we've already surpassed that. So
That's killer.
I'm super excited.
That's like a great title to hold, but also a great title to lose as well, because it's just more contributions to the ASGCC.
I can't wait just to pass the sash.
Yeah, right.
My sash?
It is a beautiful sash.
You guys stop talking about my sash. It's not going anywhere.
These events seem like so much fun, and I feel like the leather community specifically has such like a loving, thoughtful community and such a supportive community. Is that kind of what brought you to it, or is that what keeps you there?
Yes and yes. So it's a super supportive community of people from all different backgrounds, ages, and sexes. It's not just gay men that are into the leather community. So there's just wonderful stories. There's a lot of sense of camaraderie, which is really attractive to it. And then there's also a sense of mentorship. Having intergenerational knowledge passed down, I think, is super important, and why it makes me proud to be part of the leather community.
I love that.
Do you know all of the 9 contestants this year?
I know most of them. I've seen all of their photos,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been trying to promote them as much as possible.
Nice.
As the defending Mr. Snowbound, you have a hand in selecting your successor.
I do not have hands. I
okay.
get to announce them, but it's really you. It's everyone at home that is making donations in their name that will choose the next Mr. Snowbound. So go onto the Mates Leather Weekend website or the Facebook group to see their photos, see the 9 contestants, and choose which one you want to be Mr. Snowbound 2022. And make sure you head over to the ASGCC website. I think that website is on the screen. Hit donate, and then make sure you put their name in the comment box.
What fun events do you guys have lined up for the weekend?
I think you covered them at the
Did we?
beginning of the segment. But to reiterate, we've got a beer bust tonight at Watership Inn, sponsored by Provincetown Brewing Company.
Killer.
Thank you. We also have the Whiteout Party at the Crown and Anchor, which I'm super excited about. I've been seeing a little bit of behind the scenes videos that have been posted of what's going on at the Paramount, and that's really exciting. Tomorrow we've got brunch at Bayside Betty's, which they're a sponsor. We're also returning to the Crown for the Chaps and Straps party. And then there's events at A House. And on Sunday there's the Hops
and Bottoms.
party, also here at Provincetown Brewing Company.
There's a brunch at the Crown on Saturday too, right?
Yes, on Sunday.
Sunday.
And Sunday is important because along with brunch at Crown and Anchor, that's when we'll announce the new Mr. Snowbound 2022.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So there's not a pageant or anything like that.
No,
Okay.
it's not a get up on stage, show off your looks,
Okay.
make a speech.
They do that in October though for Leathermates weekend.
They do that for Mates, and they do that for Mr. New England Leather, which is
Okay.
also hosted here in Provincetown.
Awesome.
Are you Mr. New England Leather too?
I'm not.
You're going to be
No.
though.
I will. No.
What's next for you?
What's next for me?
Yeah.
For me, I think it's continue to fundraise for ASGCC and for other community events, and to continue to be involved in the leather community here in the Northeast.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for making some time to be
Yeah.
here. I know it's
Thank you
early.
for having me.
It's cold.
I know, and you've got a big weekend ahead of you.
I'm excited that we've got snow because when I won, it was 70 degrees.
That sounds great.
We'll see you this weekend.
Yeah, we'll see you running around.
Thank you guys.
Of course.
So we're going to do our birthday call right now, and hopefully this person is watching, but hopefully she's not the kind of person that like sees that her phone's ringing and so she doesn't answer it because she's watching her favorite YouTube show and misses the birthday call.
Right.
Also, I want to take this opportunity to thank everybody that has offered me a place to shower and stay during these 2 weeks that Peter and I do not have hot water at our house.
Oh my God.
Like, so many people have reached out and been like, just come shower here.
You haven't just like embraced the cold showers?
Well, I was like, I'm going to turn it into a prairie fetish and boil water on the stove to wash dishes by
A
hand.
prairie fetish.
Hi, hope you're having a good day.
Oh, so
Leave a message
our
here.
friend Peggy Smith-Schmidt, happy birthday to you, dear. We tried calling you.
Show her number, everyone.
There's like I think we're on.
Text her happy
we're on a
birthday.
delay, yeah. Happy birthday, Peggy.
Yeah, happy
At the
birthday.
tone, please
Oh.
record your message.
Oh.
When you've finished recording, you may hang up
Peggy
or
watches every
press
Friday,
one
but there's a
for
delay, so she might not know until 30
Happy
seconds from now.
birthday from Wake Up in Provincetown.
Happy birthday, Peggy. Hi, Patty. We love you guys.
Bummer.
I know. That's okay, though. Please welcome to the show our dear friend, Miss Rebecca Orchant.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm so absurdly happy to be here.
It's so nice
How are
to
you?
see you.
Thanks for
really,
having
really
me.
good. Of course.
Thanks for getting out in the snow.
I was nervous. I got here
Did
so
Sean drop
early.
you off?
No, I shoveled the truck out. I feel very proud of
Good for
myself.
you.
Parked,
Love that.
everything's fine. I grew up in New Mexico, so driving in snow is not like my #1 hobby.
Yeah. I grew up in New England, which is why I hate driving in the snow.
Sure.
2 accidents, both in the snow.
Wait.
Yeah.
So, Well, give us a little bit of your background for people that might not know you as well as we do.
So I am one of the owners of Pop and Dutch, a sandwich shop in Provincetown on the West End. My husband Sean and I own it together. We've been here since 2014, and we live here year round. We have since we got here, which has been such a great pleasure, and made it seasonal on purpose because we wanted to be able to have the winter time to work on projects and spend more time together. And he and I both have a writing background, although I do more of it now than he does. But this winter I'm writing my first book, which is why you have me here.
Congratulations, I know.
Thank you, I'm very excited.
How did this happen?
So a friend and regular at the shop, his name is Patrick Davis, started a publishing company called Unbound Edition Press, which is who is publishing this book. I had been writing a newsletter with a dear friend of mine and writing partner, Sarah Flynn, and that newsletter is called Soup and Despair. It's sort of about using food as a salve in times of great distress and despair, which I think we've all at least touched on.
I think
the
that's
last
Gone
few
during the
years.
pandemic?
Yes, it
That's
was
all we've got
it was a
moving forward, I
pandemic
think.
process.
So, yeah.
Pretty much.
And we mostly just wanted to be able to talk frankly about how bad everything is, with people who are like-minded, and what to eat when you feel like everything is the worst. So Patrick had been reading that and really enjoying it, and he reached out to me and said that they wanted to have a food memoir for the imprint, and would I please be the one to write that?
And
so I am.
when does it come out?
Right now it's slated for a fall 2023 release. I'm about a third of the way through the first draft right now. So it feels great and cathartic, and also sometimes painful and depressing.
Like life itself.
You sit with your like some of your most intense memories and force yourself to put them onto a page in front of you. But also some really happy things that it's fun to revisit. Writing a memoir is a very interesting experience.
And you refer to it as a kitchen memoir?
Yeah. So the idea being that probably most of the people here understand this feeling, but when you go to a party, you sort of gravitate to the kitchen. That's where the action is. That's where, for some of us, we need to have a job at a party to be able to function. I like to be organizing platters of snacks and bringing people drinks because I like to feel useful. I've also spent most of my professional life in kitchens or in restaurants. And most of the important things that have happened to me in my life have been either in a kitchen or organized around it. So this is kind of that story, telling the story of my family and the people that I've loved and people that I've lost, all through food and kitchens.
I love that.
Thanks.
I will say that one of the worst parties I ever went to was in your kitchen. No, just kidding. The night of the 2016 election.
Oh.
It was the worst party I ever threw.
Sean and Rebecca were like, we're hosting after we were all in the wave bar watching the TVs, like, and everybody's face fell. People started crying, and then Rebecca was like, okay, back to our house. And we all stood around this punch bowl like,
Oh my God.
like, what the fuck?
It started out as a really cheerful evening.
Yeah, it was,
It was
remember?
a bowl of punch, there were tiered snacks. It was great. And at a certain point, someone was like, hey, you need to take the TV off mute right now. And then we all just stood there like that. Can I just say that I'm really proud of you guys?
Thank you.
This is really amazing. And right? People in Provincetown always have great ideas for fun things to do. And you guys really did it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we really do want you to be more part of it if you have the time.
Yes, totally.
So I know when we first asked you, it was like, do you want to go to restaurants and try things? Everything was closed and there was nowhere to eat. It was like the beginning of the
Right.
pandemic. And we were like, you're going to do this segment that couldn't have happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think we're going to be able to have it.
I would really love to be able to do that, and I hope very much that that's something that we all get to enjoy doing with more regularity sometime soon.
Me too. And also, if you don't already follow Rebecca on Instagram and Twitter, S McPickles.
That's me.
S McPickles. I gotta tell you, my Twitter feed is in no particular order: porn, politics, tennis, Rebecca.
Yeah.
It's like that's literally
Very
it.
well-rounded.
Very well curated. it's on Twitter you can see only what you want to see,
Yeah.
and that's all I want to see.
I don't care about tennis, but otherwise, yeah.
I love it.
And wait, when are you opening Papa Dutch this year?
Sometime in mid-May.
Okay. I don't know what your favorite sandwich is.
The Gator McCluskey.
Oh.
And
Arthur Avenue.
And you got to get
And Helltown.
the voodoo chips with it. Because the voodoo chips on the Gator McCluskey,
Ooh. Inside
bad,
track. That's a
yeah,
good
that's
one.
like my beach go-to meal.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love you so much.
I love you too. Thank you guys for having me.
Thanks for
on the
coming
book.
in.
Thank you very much. I'll keep you posted.
Okay. And give Sean our love.
We certainly will.
We'll see you for sandwiches soon.
Yeah. Well, we're all gonna have to do that again, aren't we?
Right.
We want to thank our sponsors, of course. Cafe Heaven,
Yeah.
the Red Inn,
Be Well Cannabis
the Adam Howard Metal Workshop at 3 Bradford Street.
and Project Valor Sailing.
Yeah. Thank you guys for waking up in Provincetown.
Yeah, we'll see you this weekend. The brewery is open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for fun. The Crown is open all weekend. We'll see you at one of those places.
Cheers. I didn't mean to imply that Sean.
Good morning, everybody.